So hi, on the Guys Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Dane.
And I'm Andrew, and we're Loyals.
and with some questions to say about the new EP, Love Me Bad. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to it so far?
You want to go first, Shane?
Yeah. I feel like it's overall been positive. I'm happy with that. We did get one nasty review that was pretty funny. But
Good.
for me, it's just like been so long since we've released music that any feedback is awesome. So even if
Yeah.
it's like really mean, I kind of love it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's something. Yeah.
yeah, people are
Yeah.
listening. We'll add on to the positive feedback.
Mhm.
Digging the EP a lot. Gave it a
Oh,
spin
yeah.
this
Thanks.
morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Damn right. Mhm.
Any favorite songs in particular?
Honestly, the first track, Up All Night, that
Yeah.
shit had me grooving.
Yeah.
I
Good.
can't
Cool.
lie. Yeah, no,
Love it.
shaking ass, all that shit. Mhm.
Love that one.
Back
I'm
to
glad.
being bored for me.
Wow.
Nice. Love it.
Hell yeah.
That's
That one
such a
got-
dark horse on the EP for me. I really,
You know what? I'm
I knew
throwing
I
that out.
liked it.
I
But
don't think it's a dark horse anymore. I think we thought it was a dark horse, but I feel like people have been responding a lot to that one. So
they really have. Yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome, guys.
Cool.
Thank
It's
you.
good to hear. Of
course.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So, is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Cover art, no, that was just a cool shot. And we
Yeah, that's fair.
we didn't go that deep. Love Me Bad, it is a lyric in the last track on the EP, No Tomorrow. And it kind of brings together the whole theme of the project. We didn't mean to do this intentionally, but when we kind of got all these songs together, we realized that there was a common theme and there was almost like a narrative. And depending on like the order of which you put the songs, it literally tells a story.
Mhm.
From beginning to Up All Night, like you're talking about the song you liked a lot. That's like about meeting someone and infatuation, and
Mhm.
you know, that's like kind of the beginning when you meet someone, you're interested in them, and then by the time we get to the end of No Tomorrow, we've kind of gone through a whole relationship, and now it's kind of the tail end. Like she's kind of broken your heart. Maybe you weren't the best in the relationship either, and Love Me Bad is just a line that's in the bridge, and it just kind of felt like it made sense. Like I think Dane might have pulled that. I remember we're like, oh man, I guess it's done. We should title this thing. And like, why don't we pick a lyric? I don't want to pick a song from a title track from a song to be the EP. I want something like with a little more depth. And I think within like 5 minutes, Dane takes it. What about Love Me Bad from
Yeah.
tomorrow? I was like, oh, like,
I always
perfect.
loved. I think that's
Yeah.
my favorite point, like section of the whole EP is that bridge,
Mhm.
in that song, and I love just the whole like lyric of the bridge. Shut your mouth, don't say too much, 'cause when we talk, we mess things up. Pretend I never hurt you for the night. I don't care, just kiss me sad. Yeah, love me good and touch me bad. Is that
Or
what it
no,
says?
you got to flip.
Touch me good and love me
Touch
bad.
me good and love me bad. Love me bad.
There you
Okay,
go.
good.
It's funny when you make records, you go making, you haven't played them live yet.
Mhm.
So when
Mhm.
you have to recall like a specific lyric that's not going from top down, you have to like, oh yeah, wait, what? Because I do that too. I'm like, what's
Yeah.
the lyric? Yeah, I always get things flipped
There's-
around.
It's just
Yeah.
like with maybe the exception of the first song, Up All Night, the whole EP like has some sort of rubs. There's some sort of friction going on in the relationship. So
Mhm.
hmm
Love Me Bad just kind of felt right. And I know like personally, like in my relationship, there have been a lot of times where I feel like I'm just loving
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
wife badly. Like I'm doing a bad job.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like, I don't know, hit home a little bit, and I hope that maybe it registers well with somebody else too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was it the intention to create an EP that's kind of like a full relationship in like 5 songs, or did it kind of come about as you guys started writing?
Kind of happened naturally.
Happened.
We
Yeah.
wrote,
An EP
we
was the
wrote-
plan though.
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
EP was definitely the plan. We primarily wrote with one guy, with the exception of Give to Me, wrote with a buddy AJ Pruis. And they just all kind of naturally became about, you know, uh, yeah, I talk too much. I can barely double knot a shoe. Like I had just had my first son at that time, like right after that song was written.
Mhm.
She
Yeah,
hates
she
me.
hates me. You're referencing She Hates Me.
Yeah. And so just little things like that. We're just kind of like recalling back to certain memories and all like the three of us, our past, and kind of expounding on those memories and making them full stories for people to listen to. I don't know if that answers your question. I feel like I kind of got off track.
No, that answers it.
Yes,
It
yeah.
was like, was the intention to create something that was like basically about the timeline of a
Yeah.
relationship, and you
very,
answered that.
very accidentally fell into the concept EP thing.
Yeah.
With the EP, there was an idea like let's do like a handful of songs as like our kind of like a comeback little project. But then once we kind of we wrote more than these 5 songs too. But once we kind of picked out the ones that we knew we really liked, we realized like the trend. And it's like, wait, we kind of accidentally made a concept EP, so let's like lean into that. Like,
Gotcha,
you
makes
know?
sense. So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for this EP?
Let me see.
Yeah, I can talk about
Interesting.
that. I think you're asking about the writing process for this EP.
Yeah, just
So
this
I would
EP.
say in years past, I've done a lot of the writing, or at least the beginnings of songs on my own, just in my office, and I'll make an idea, get like a little demo together, and send it off to Gomez or whoever. And then we've kind of figured everything out past that. Like if we like the song, Gomez likes the song, we'll build on that track, scrap it, kind of use the core points of the demo I made, and build it from that.
Mhm.
This EP was a lot different. I felt like I had a lot to learn going into this EP. Excuse me.
You're good.
And we're working with a producer named Cameron James. He's a great songwriter here in Nashville, a great producer, and I just felt like I had a lot to learn from him, and I didn't want to like do it the same way, where like I was coming with this already kind of fleshed out demo, and then he's just building on top of that. Like I wanted to see how he does it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so a
But-
lot of the songs that we have on this EP, like we wrote in the studio with Cameron.
Yeah. Sans, I guess, Give to Me is the oldest track on the project. That was a little bit before we even met Cameron. That's just a song we've always loved that we knew had a place on the project even before we knew we were kind of doing an EP. We knew whatever we do next, we're putting Give to Me on there. And that was kind of like the first jump off song when we started doing the rest of them, because the last 2 we wrote were I feel like the last song we wrote was probably Up All Night. One of the last ones we did was Up
The
All
last
Night.
one.
Yeah.
One of the last ones, yeah. And
It
it
wasn't
was
She
one of the
Hates
last
Me?
ones. It was one of the last ones. I feel like Back to Being Bored was during COVID when we wrote that one, like during lockdown 2020.
Yeah.
But then the other 3 like kind of came towards the end, 'cause we had a couple other ones we were playing with to potentially put on there. And then when we wrote we wrote She Hates Me and No Tomorrow like pretty back to back with Cameron. And we knew like immediately, even before the songs were fully written, like, okay, like there's some special sauce here. Like this feels correct. This feels like what we're trying to do. This project differs from our other stuff in Sonics in just a lot of ways. Like we have a full album we put out in 2018. Sonically, it doesn't sound as much like this project, but it's also been like a while. Like
Yeah.
we've also grown and evolved, or different tastes, different influences. So, and even what we'll do next after this, like it will be just another evolution of like what we've done with this EP as well. So.
Exactly. Can't expect an artist to stick in the same lane for their entire career.
Yeah,
People grow.
I think there's
I
some
wouldn't
things
be
that
able
will
to do
be
it even if I
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah,
Not
and
ever gonna
that's not
happen.
to say that some characteristics of what makes loyals won't be there. Like I think Dane's vocal approach and his style helps define what it sounds like. I think the guitar parts that we write, whether they're very in your face or not, they're coming from just how me and Dane write guitar parts. The songwriting also very pop centric has always been a thing we've done. Whether it sounds like a rock song or an R&B pop alt song, we've always had the pop songwriting as like an undertone for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what song off the EP took longest to write, and then which one is each of your own personal favorite?
I feel like a lot of them took around the same time to write. Like we usually wrote most of them all like in one session, but I do think we definitely circled back a little bit on Back to Being Bored. Not that a lot of lyrics changed, but there was a lot of confirming, making sure this was the right approach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
And then the bridge you did with Cameron in the studio when I was out of
Mackenzie.
town.
We started that song with Mackenzie Toms.
Yeah,
And
COVID
then
during
he
COVID.
went on like a camping trip from which
like a
there's no
cross country
return.
trip or something like that. Yeah.
God damn.
We
But we
kinda
didn't-
lost Mackenzie.
Yeah.
I hope he's doing okay today.
Oh my god.
No, we know
It's
he's okay.
He's
Yeah,
fine.
He-
He's good. He's
He
good.
got us
We're just
his-
Made
joking.
it back.
his
Yeah.
pub info on the song, so we know he's at least okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we ended up finishing it with Cameron, our producer. And so yeah, I
Yeah.
would say like cumulatively that probably took the longest time.
Yeah. And then what was the other part of the question? Was the favorite songs?
Favorites.
Yeah, personal favorite song.
Give to me. Easy.
Give to me. Nice. I've always been torn between She Hates Me and Up All Night. That's
Damn
been
right.
kind of like my. I mean, I love all of them, and honestly, even Back to Me Bored has crept up a little bit because I sometimes when you're an artist, like you have your idea of what you think is like this is the best one, or this is the one that's going to resonate with the most people, or this is going to whatever, and you're usually always wrong. But there's always some safe bets. Like on our last record, we knew Skyline was going to be one that people loved. It's still our number one song. It wasn't. I mean, you can disagree, Dane, but I don't think that was our favorite one.
Which one?
On the first album, like Skyline, I think we had other ones that were
Oh
kind of
no.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we knew that one was going to hit well with people.
Yeah.
I don't think I did. I mean, I knew it was like a cool sound that I thought like had potential probably, but
Mhm.
I would have. I mean, we're talking about an album you guys probably haven't even listened to, but
Got
what
me.
he's talking about is real for every release. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah,
have it in your head what you think is gonna work well, and then it
Mhm.
ends up being another one. Like
Yeah,
Back to Being Bored for me. Like
Back
I
to
would
Back
not
to Being
have
Bored
predicted
is
that
the
to be-
one
Yeah.
that for me, like I mean, it doesn't have as many streams as like Up All Night. I think Up All Night had the benefit of it being the first song that we did coming back. Also, I just think it's more upbeat. It's a little more energetic than some of the other ones,
Mhm.
which I think just hits a good audience. But personally, I think between Up All Night, I think She Hates Me is like some days I do think it's the best song we've done, like
Yeah,
in
it's
general.
definitely like
But-
the most
but-
challenging. Maybe not challenging to write, but
Mhm.
it like challenges me personally. That song,
Mhm.
still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
In that
And
way, it's like maybe the best song we've ever written. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we stretched. I think that's a good. We might have stretched ourselves a bit on that one, getting a
Yeah.
little bit more into some sounds and some stuff we haven't done before. But I think that chorus just feels like gold to me. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
but Up All Night as well is also like I love that one. It's so fun. I can't wait to play that one live. It's gonna be really great.
Hell yeah.
She's gonna go
Love it.
crazy. Yeah.
She hates me. I had like a punk kind of idea for that. Do you remember that, Gomi?
Yeah,
Me coming to the table with that song, and I like, it sounded just like a rock song to me. Just
yeah. But
the
then it was like, dude, these lyrics are
vocal
depressing.
melody, and
Dude,
yeah,
this does not match.
no, didn't
Yeah,
match, but it's just weird to know where that song came from, what it sounded like in my head,
Mhm.
to what it ended up sounding like on the EP.
Yeah.
It's weird how
That's
that
fair.
happens.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
mean, most of the like saddest songs I know are like rock or metal. So
Mhm.
honestly, don't hold
Yeah.
yourself back next time. If you want to do a very fucking sad rock song, go for it. Like it's in. It's in.
Oh, I mean, we got
Calm
we got a depressing one for you on our first record if you like that kind of stuff. It's called
I do.
IDC?
It's called IDC. Yeah, it's more just like
IDC, yeah.
mellow emo sad lyrics over like droning
fuck yeah.
pads and
I
stuff. It's
love
just
that
yeah.
Oh,
song.
I'm a big
so
fan
much.
of that shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Very,
I will be
like-
checking that out.
very like early 1975 coded.
Oh. Okay,
Yeah.
you got me.
Yeah.
You got me clocked.
got her sold.
immediately.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
got my ass. Yeah.
that's always the through line song that a lot of like music industry people, like labels, A&Rs, publishers, like that's everyone's favorite loyal song is IDC's. The non-normal listener, like the more musically inclined people, they love
Mhm.
IDC.
Okay.
So yeah.
Huh.
I
Okay,
wrote
I'll
that
check it out.
song when I was not doing very well health wise, and
Yeah.
had probably had too much to drink,
Yeah.
and I just got in a room and wrote
Mhm.
that song, and it was very sad. It just came out all sad,
hmm
and
Yeah.
the vibe was just like, I'm doing fine here without you. See ya. That was the
Yeah.
whole song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Huh.
love that song so much. I kind of want to go back and listen to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
a
I mean,
vibe.
you
It's a great
sold
late night
me.
drive song.
Yeah.
Good late
Yeah.
night drive song. That's another thing about
Yeah.
it's like we have the new project out and we love it. And Can't wait to play it. We're also just still pretty big fans of just even the other stuff we've done. We've never
Yeah.
really been a band to throw away what we've done in the past because there's a new shiny object. I do feel like bands should be allowed, and we've seen that with look what Taylor Swift has done on this tour. Like it's literally the Eras tour. She's respecting all the different eras of her band. I feel
Yeah.
like some bands just get a little lost trying to chase the new thing. And
Mhm.
I think it's important to also know where you came from, see
Mhm.
where you come from, and also like appreciate that you can do more than one thing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Damn
So-
right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So where was your headspace at while you guys were writing this EP?
Everywhere and all over the place because it was
Took
COVID was going
5
on.
years, man.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Shit, yeah.
Like Give to Me was what written 2019. We
Mhm.
started doing like production on Give to Me and like ideally like just making the EP literally 2 weeks before COVID.
Uh-huh.
And then right when COVID hit, we were like, you know what? The world's shutting down for a bit. Maybe we take a step back. And our producer Cameron as well had uh, a hell of a couple years behind them, like right as COVID hit. And me and Dane had also been through some pretty heavy stuff as a band leading up to COVID. We lost a friend to suicide that was pretty integral to like our band. Not he wasn't a member, but he was like our tour manager. And
Oh,
um
shit.
we had some members that had left. We'd gone through some stuff, and I felt like it was like, we've been doing this. We've been in bands together since literally like 2009. Like, let's just pump the brakes, take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And Dane's having kids, and I was getting married, and all this stuff. And I was like, let's not, let's tend to this and let's write when we can and let's get everyone in the room. Let's meet you and Cameron when we can and like make the most of that. But let's not rush anything. Let's just see what happens. What happens when we don't, get on a rigorous, like fast schedule and put like, let's just chill for a minute and see what happens. And not that I would ever want to do that again because I like making music for Loyals and putting out stuff. I wouldn't want to do such a long gap of time again like we just did. But
Yeah.
I'm glad we did take the time because it allowed me as well time to grow as a songwriter, musician, music producer. That's why I do full time now. And I feel like I can bring more to the table now, even more than 5 years ago.
Mhm.
So
I mean, Gum's lightly kind of glazed over it just because we've talked about it for so
a
long
lot,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
much. But
That's fair.
Weston, our buddy Diane, was a huge
Mhm.
part of all that story.
Mhm.
And I personally like couldn't write a song without it being about him.
Yeah, it took
And
a
so
lot.
when I
It took a
say,
lot
like,
of songs to get past even that point.
Yeah, I just like needed it for some reason. So when we started working with Cameron, that was part of that. Like, I have a lot to learn from this guy. I don't necessarily want to
Cameron
write
had
a
gone
whole
through a
EP about.
similar,
Yeah,
Cameron gone through a similar thing too. Yeah,
Cameron's
not
buddy had just
suicide, but
died from cancer.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we were just kind of, I don't know. I just wanted to shut off everything that I was doing already and, kind of just live in the moment a little bit and try
Mhm.
to just write something from scratch that's not something that I'm dealing with on a huge personal level.
Absolutely.
And that's, yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a beautiful thing with Cameron because we were both kind of coming off this huge loss.
lots of
And
life change. Yeah,
we kind of
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
connected on that and we're able to just kind of be like, okay, we're both okay. We're working through some things, but we're here right now and we can kind of use this to kind of get over this.
Yeah.
hmm
And yeah, I'm really thankful that we had all that time to write that EP looking back.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I wish
Yeah.
it would have come out sooner, but at the same time, we had to work through a lot of stuff mentally. I know I did.
Absolutely.
So sorry for your loss. I just
Oh,
wanted
it's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry
It's okay.
about that.
It's all right. I'm
It-
doing way better with it now. You
It's
asked
been
me that or told me that
3 or 4 years
4
ago.
or
Yeah,
5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
it was it all happened between like both the deaths and the people involving this record was between like 2018 and 19. So
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Mhm.
sorry to bring the mood down.
Yeah,
you're
sorry.
No, not at all. We appreciate you sharing that and being vulnerable and open, and because you guys could have easily just said like, we were just
good.
kicking it. We had a good
Right.
time making this. You guys could have easily
I mean,
just fronted and
no lie, like we were having a good time making the stuff. It's an escape to be able to go write and make music. And when you,
Yeah.
especially doing as long as we do, like we're not new to this. We know how to write a song. We know how to put a track together. We know how
Yeah.
to, you know, but just the whole process, especially working with Cameron through this. I mean, in a similar almost, not that we live the same lives, but there's a lot of very similar things happening in our lives, and it being kind of like a way to kind of just get together and work through that, talk
Yeah.
about it, but then also like create something together in the same time.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
and the thing we created doesn't really resemble what we're going through, but it was a way for us to kind of help move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think I needed it in that way because I don't know that I would have ever gotten out of that rut creatively of everything being about Weston, everything being about what's gone wrong,
Yeah.
and kind of needed that breath of fresh air, that 5-year breath of fresh air to kind of just wipe the slate clean. And now I'm like more excited than ever to get the ball rolling on
it almost feels
other
like
things.
it feels like a reset, even though we
Yeah.
just dropped a new thing for the first time in a long time. But it does feel like us as a band, and like it does feel like wow, it's like open air now.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
That's great. So for this last question, off the top of your head, I want you guys to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 6 total, no more, no less.
I would say organic
Okay.
is one.
Mhm.
I would say this sounds a little weird, but like maybe just a little sensual, I guess would be the
Yeah.
right term.
Yeah.
Not for a lot of other artists, but if you look at our previous work to now, like there's just a little bit more sensuality in a lot of the lyrics and stuff and situations we're writing about. And then I would say probably the last one would be I guess mature. Mature is a good word. I think mature. Not that our last stuff wasn't mature, but like I think mature is an ongoing thing. Maturity is an ongoing process. And I don't think we regressed in maturity on this. I think we only matured more.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I would just kind of looking at it from the perspective of what we've done so far leading into this EP. I would call it warm for whatever reason. It just feels warmer to me. I would call it laid back, if I can lump that into one word.
Yeah.
Little
hyphen.
Little
Hyphen.
hyphen.
Yeah.
Hyphen.
We're
We'll
big
make it
fans of the
work.
hyphen around here.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
mellow. Maybe mellow is the
Mellow.
right word.
Ooh,
Because the
yeah.
first album was so like rocky, guitars, in your
Bright. It's very
face,
bright.
like
Bright record.
yeah, very bright, which I love. But
Very
this has a
vibrant.
totally different
Very
vibe.
vibrant record.
Yeah.
Vibrant. Man, that would be a good word for this new one actually.
Yeah.
Warm, mellow. I don't know about a third one.
I mean, vibrant kind of does work in a way. I feel like Up All Night has a little bit of that vibrant, but then also like I think it's more of a spectrum because I feel like when I think about songs like She Hates Me, it's like a little more darker grayscale, maybe just a little more like warmer tones, not as bright. But then there's some songs that feel a lot brighter. Give to Me feels very bright. That's a pop song.
I feel like this album too, and maybe I just don't have a good word for it, but maybe visceral. Like, it deals with a lot more of like what's going on internally, I think.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thinking about songs like She Hates Me.
Introspective.
Whereas, like, the first album was more just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of cut and dry. Like we had silly like pop songs just about feeling good.
Not as much connective tissue lyrically.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is visceral a good word for that? I don't really know.
Yeah.
But that's how I would explain
Well, Shane said
it, yeah.
introspective.
Yeah.
Introspective makes sense. Yeah.
Introspective. Cool.
Yeah.
That's actually a
We'll
great
lock it
word
in.
for this.
Yeah.
I like it. You can tell us what it is.
Exactly.
And honestly, like music is what you make it anyway, like how you receive it and what you like that's we shouldn't be telling you what to think about it. You should be the one telling us what you think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Damn right.
Oh yeah. So as Gloria said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
The EP in general, if you haven't heard it yet, or honestly just all of our stuff, anything that's on our Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, like there should be an album, a single called I'm Sorry. We have a cover of a Post Malone song we did with our friend Josh Manuel that's up there as well, from Issues, if y'all are tuned into the metalcore world. And then obviously the new record, EP, Love Me Bad. I would say that just social media. Let us know what you think. It feels like we're kind of new again, so it's kind of fun to try things on social media, see what works, what doesn't work. It's a whole new world since the last time we put out anything really. And yeah, just keep in touch, really. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sounding. This guy's been Loyals.
Thanks, guys.
And we have been the Good Noise Podcast.